Hey, are you considering becoming a health coach and wondering what is it that health coaches do? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you what a health coach does and also where you can study health coaching if it's something that you decide, actually, that's kind of cool and you want to do it. Hi, if you're new to my channel, my name is Jo Randolph and I'm a holistic career coach that helps you discover your gifts, fulfill your purpose, and create a joyful life. If you want to watch videos like this, come and join us and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. Also, this video is part of a 5-day video series on really building your career and transitioning your career into the wellness industry and actually getting paid to do what you love. And so if you want to get the other videos, make sure you click on the bell button in order to get the remaining videos. I imagine the reason why you're watching this video is because you're truly passionate about health and wellness and you really would like to know what is it like to work in the health and wellness industry. And in particular, if you're exploring health coaching, you want to know, what does a health coach do and can you see yourself doing it? For example, if you're thinking about becoming a doctor, when you're younger, the average person or the average kid that thinks, I want to become a doctor, they're thinking about a doctor. They haven't yet thought about their specialism. And so there's so many different ways that someone can work as a doctor, right? You can be a gynecologist, you can be a cardiologist, you can be a pancreatic surgeon, you can be a brain surgeon, you can be a GP. Like there's so many different things and all of them are totally different. Health coaching is kind of the same, and I'll share a little bit about why in a minute, but that for me was really one of the reasons why I decided to become a health coach, because I knew that I wanted to work in the health and wellness industry, but I wasn't 100% sure exactly what I wanted to do in the health and wellness industry. And so it was a great platform. So for example, some people become a personal trainer and it makes total sense because they know with 100% certainty they want to become a personal trainer. Kind of like Kayla Itsinas. She just wants to do personal training. Like that's her genius zone. Or the Tone It Up girls who I absolutely love and I think they're amazing. You know, one of them really wants to do yoga and she wants to do mindfulness and that's what she's really passionate about. And the other one, she really studied nutrition. So why do I say this? Is because if you absolutely know the niche that you want to go into, then that's totally different. But when I was starting out and thinking about health and wellness, I wasn't quite sure what niche I wanted to go into. In fact, I wanted to learn so much more about health and wellness. And then based on what I learned, I then wanted to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my career. It's kind of like how when someone's a doctor, they do their general training and then they can do further training to specialize. For now, I really want to focus on what is a health coach? What does a health coach do? A health coach is someone who inspires, motivates, and helps someone to make better choices for their health. Hence health coach. Now that is really my definition. There are slightly other different definitions, but it's all around the same thing, which is really that you are inspiring, motivating, and helping someone to make healthier choices. Healthier choices, what does that even mean? The amazing thing is that helping someone make healthier choices, you can do this in so many ways. I've got my notes right here. So one thing you can do is you can coach someone. There's some health coaches who work as private one-on-one coaches. They do group coaching, they do corporate coaching, and they do online coaching. And through this coaching, they help people make better decisions for their health, end up being healthier, being more productive, feeling better, healing, whatever it is that they want to focus on, that's kind of really what they do. There are also people who educate. Actually, kind of like me. So someone who creates online courses, someone who shares videos, someone who writes books, and you're really educating someone on how they can make better choices for their health. Or you can be someone who's inspiring. Someone who's inspiring, maybe someone who really loves social media, who really loves making healthy choices themselves, and you really kind of want to live out what you preach and you want to inspire others to do the same. You can create podcasts, you can have your own social media platforms, your own website, and you can really, really inspire people with what you're sharing. The next thing is also feeding someone. So this one isn't actually as obvious to some people when they think about health coach, because you know it's got the the word coach in it, but actually you can actually feed someone. So for example, there's so many health coaches who, after they've done a health coaching program, they've actually created health food products. They've actually created a store, like an actual cafe, a juice company, a restaurant. Like there's so many different things that you can do, or sometimes they even do cooking classes. Now there are also people who do retreats, so like experiences, that's another option. And I'm sure there are other ways, but these are the kind of like the front of mind ways that health coaches can help people. Now the question is think about who has inspired you. Often it's not that they just gave you a plan of exactly what to eat, but it's that they taught you things and they maybe helped you build your confidence, and they actually helped you to make the transition between, because you probably already know what a healthy plate looks like. A lot of people know that if you eat more plant-based foods, if you eat less junk, if you eat less processed foods, so many of us know that that's all you need to do to be healthier. Exercise more. We all know this, right? But the challenge is that some of us aren't doing it. Some of us are not doing it because we're busy, or we don't know how to do it, or we're not consistent, or we're stressed, or there's so many other factors that limit why we're not doing what we're doing. And so health coaches really help you understand what is in the way of you actually doing what it is that you need to do, so that you can then actually start making healthier choices. One thing that I really want to emphasize is that a health coach, not actually doctors. You don't prescribe any medication, you don't diagnose anyone with anything, you don't prescribe any treatment, you don't actually give a diet because you're not a nutritionist. A nutritionist do that. Now I do actually have a separate video on the difference between nutritionists and health coaches. If you want to watch that video, click on the link there. And you also don't give medical advice. Now for me, this was ideal because I didn't want to give medical advice. I didn't want to go to medical school, and I didn't want to study nutrition because all those things would have taken years to study, and I frankly didn't want to study. I had a professional job. I was working in the corporate world. I worked in business. I wanted to study something where I could study part-time and fit it into my schedule. I know that some people that watch my videos, they're mums, they have jobs or something. And so for you, the whole idea of going back to school, depending on your age as well, it's not exactly super cool. So that for me was why I decided to study health coaching and not something else, in addition to the fact that I wanted more time and I wanted to learn more before I could really figure out exactly what type of work I actually wanted to do. And the health coaching training program I studied at IN really helped with that. Now, the reason why I talk about the Institute for Integrative Nutrition is because that is the only place I've studied health coaching, and so I can't talk about other schools or other programs because I have not studied at other programs. So I wouldn't be able to give an honest review or even do a comparison of the different schools because I actually don't know what it's like to study there. But I do know what it's like to study at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and I actually have a whole set of videos on what my experience was like, how my life has changed a few years after graduation, whether the program is worth it, all that sort of stuff. Simply click on the link. I actually have a playlist for that. The question is, what topic do they cover? So at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, when you learn how to become a health coach, they teach you a variety of topics, and these topics are things you can end up doing and really helping your clients with as you work. So one of the things I find really interesting is that often when people are thinking about nutrition, they think that your health, and if you're eating well, then you will be healthy, and if you're exercising, then you'll be healthy. But they actually consider nutrition to actually be a secondary source of food to your body. For example, what they believe is that food isn't normally a front of mind thought. So when you're waking up in the morning, you may be a little bit hungry, but once you've had a little bit of breakfast and you're really going about your day, you're actually thinking about other things. You're thinking about your career. You're thinking about your relationships in the evening, maybe when you finished work. Some people are also really spiritual, and they're thinking about how to have a better connection to the divine, a higher power, or God. And you may also do a little bit of exercise, and those things are kind of more of your front of mind thoughts. And your diet, the foods that you're eating, they tend to kind of be a little bit routine. It's not really front of mind. And the reason for this is that the other aspects of our lives, they really either give us so much energy or they take away our energy. For example, can you think about a time when you've been in love and you are really, really close to your partner, or a time when you really enjoy your job and you are just so deep into the work that you lose track of time? And so when this is the case, you're not really thinking about food, but you get so much energy that you are able to do so many things, and it actually really improves your health, because when you're in a job that is actually very challenging, where you're stressed, or you're in a really toxic relationship, that takes so much energy out of you that sometimes you get sick, it causes inflammation in the body, and that can really affect your health negatively. And so it doesn't matter how many green smoothies you're having, or how much water you're drinking. If you're in a really, really difficult job that's really taking the life out of you, the nutrition that you're eating isn't really going to make up for that. And so they have what they call an integrative nutrition plate. And so on the plate is actually, your relationships, your physical activity, your career, your spirituality. But your food, which is the secondary source, are really your fruits, whole grains, vegetables, protein and fats, and oils and water. So you actually learn about all these aspects. Now, how does this actually work? So what they have is what they call the circle of life. And this is kind of a way of actually looking at your life in a holistic way. So for example, if someone wants to be as healthy as possible, it can really be helpful to think about the following things. So what are you doing that's using your creativity? The more creative you feel, and the more you feel like you're creatively expressing your full self, the more energy you feel like you have. When you're really stressing out about money and you can't afford things, this can really take a toll on your health and your well-being. Also, your career. A really great job is great for your health, and a really bad job, toxic job, can really harm your health. Also, your education. So are you learning? Are you continuously learning and growing? The more you're feeding your brain with information and education, it just feels great. Also, your health. Things like, are you actually healthy? Do you currently have illnesses? Are you managing that in a great way? Also, exercising. This can really help to strengthen your body. Home cooking. The more foods that you have that are homemade and that are as natural as possible, then the better your health. Also, if you are creating a home environment where you feel relaxed and you can really recover from whatever is going on outside, that can also really help your health. Also, your relationships. Your relationships, not only romantic relationships, but family relationships, friends relationships. This can also really nourish your health. Actually, that part is actually the social life as well. And then there's also joy. What are you doing on a daily basis that gives you joy? A lot of the times we spend so much time working, so much time taking care of responsibilities, that we actually don't end up doing what brings us joy, unless if our career and everything else that we're doing brings us joy. So are you doing things that give you joy, really help you play on a day-to-day basis? And also spirituality. Do you have a relationship with the divine? Do you feel like you have a life purpose? Do you feel like you have a relationship with God, if you believe in God? Those things, and really improving that relationship, can really give you a whole source of nourishment for your soul. So this kind of really covers the mind, body, soul connection. And that's one of the reasons why I really loved the idea of becoming a health coach, because I thought, oh my gosh, if I can really help people with their mind, body, soul connection and really helping them improve that, I thought that could be amazing. So if you're wondering, like, how would you help someone do this? Let's say, for example, when you're a health coach, you can actually really work with people in a variety of ways. So you can really help people in a holistic way, so they can come to you for maybe one thing and you can give them some suggestions and some ideas on how to make healthier choices. You can also specialize. So I'll go through the kind of the general everything that you can learn and all the ways you can help people. And then if you decide to specialize like I did, then that's also fantastic. So for example, you can simply start by encouraging someone to drink more water. This sounds really simple, sounds really basic, but a lot of people don't even drink enough water. You can also encourage people to practice cooking, new ways of cooking, and really helping people get much better at cooking homemade foods in a really, really healthy way, and actually having fun, and actually it being something they can they can maintain. Also increasing their whole grains and their sweet vegetables and their green leafy vegetables and then their protein. And then because they'll be eating so much more of the great foods, that they may actually start to have fewer cravings. So they may have fewer processed foods. And then you can also encourage them to make a habit of nurturing their body. So do they have a routine where they make time to nurture their body? You can also encourage them to really focus on how to improve their relationships, so they have healthier relationships, that they're exercising, and also that they find work they love and they're doing that, and also that they can develop a spiritual practice. Now, if someone was to come into your coaching practice, or someone was to do a course or whatever, read a book, it may be that you don't necessarily need to do all of these things in this order. So a really easy way to start is to look back at the Circle of Life, which is a tool that you learn how to use at the school. And this information you can actually just find on their website. Here, you can actually ask someone to put a dot on the circle and place it where they think it best reflects how they feel about each area of their life. So the higher up it is, along the circle, then the more full they feel in that area, and the lower it is, the closer it is to the center, then the less full they feel in that area of life. So this is just an example. So someone could say, well, I don't really feel like I've really gotten my home cooking down, and I don't really feel like I've really developed a spiritual connection. I don't really feel that my career is in a great place. And that can really be an area of focus. So you can kind of really get a sense of how you can support them with that. And if they already feel like they're already doing things that bring them joy, and if they really feel like they are already doing things, they're already exercising, then you don't need to advise them on that. Now, for me personally, I've actually decided to focus on to specialize, and this might be something that you want to do. There may be some topics that you feel you absolutely love doing. So some people are chefs or teach cooking classes, so they really focus on number 2, which is helping people practice cooking. Or for me, I really love career, so I help people with finding work that they love. Some people are really into personal training, so they focus on the physical activity. But even if you focus on one of these things, you can still integrate a lot of the things that you've learned to help people with their career, help people with their physical activity, and that's when it starts to get really, really interesting. So this is one of the reasons why I love holistic health coaching, because you are really thinking about the body as a whole, and you're really thinking about the mind, body, and soul connection. So this is one thing that I find really amazing about IIN, is that not only do you learn about food, so you do learn over 100 dietary theories, and because they believe that one person's food is another person's poison, and so you learn about how different people react to foods differently, and how to help your clients or help people make the best choices for them, because they believe in by individuality and not foods don't have the same impact for every person. Some foods work brilliantly for some people, but some diets don't work so well. So you really, by understanding so many different dietary theories, you're able to better help your clients or your subscribers or your readers or your course customers, depending on how you work with people, you're able to help them figure out what works best for them individually. And so you do cover diet, you do cover nutrition, and you do cover the, the water and all that sort of stuff, but it's not purely that. You're also looking at a holistic approach to living a healthier life. Like I said, I'm not sure if other health coaching programs teach you this. I'm not sure if you would be able to do this as a health coach if you studied somewhere else, because like I said, I don't know the other schools very well, but this can give you an idea of the various topics you can cover as a holistic health coach. So I hope that gives you a bit of a sense of what a health coach does. I know what I've talked about is broad, but there's a reason for that, which is that you have so many options as a health coach. It's not a niche like being a nutritionist. Like, you're not stuck on nutrition and you can't really talk about anything else. Like, it's harder for a nutritionist to talk about spirituality or career, and you can then figure out what type of career you want to build doing it. Can this job actually be meaningful? So what is the purpose of health coaching? Yes, it's great if you want to do health and wellness, but if you're in the health and wellness industry, what in particular makes health coaching different and makes it beneficial to do? So I've got some statistics here. One thing that I would say is that health coaching, it's great for preventative health care, it's great for self-care, and also healing. There's so many people who really care about nourishing their bodies. They want to be healthy. There's some people who also want to prevent health issues. Maybe they've had chronic health issues in the past and they really want your help healing. They also want to prevent issues from getting worse. Now that's one thing that makes health coaching different to some other things, because personal training, it's great if you're obsessed with fitness, but personal training, there's only so much it can do. It can help you, develop fit body in the respect that you're moving, but fitness on its own isn't sufficient for you to have an ultimately healthy body. And so as a holistic health coach, you kind of see the bigger picture, you see the full picture. And so you can, by really integrating everything, it's much more effective at helping to heal someone and also helping with preventative measures. In terms of statistics, did you know that nearly 30% of the world's population are obese and overweight? And it's kind of surprising, right? Given how many weight loss programs there are there, how many people have fitness programs, nutrition programs, and yet more people than ever are still struggling with their weight. Why is that? Because even if someone gives you a plan or nutrition plan or fitness plan, it can be hard to stick to it. And that's really the role of a health coach. The other thing is that 1 in 2 people are expected to get cancer. There's so many reasons for this. If you're exploring becoming a health coach, maybe that you've already come across information on why cancer rates are increasing, and it's because a lot of the toxins, a lot of things that we're eating, there's so many factors that are influencing more and more people having cancer. In fact, even I at 25 had a borderline cancerous tumor, and so I've had my own experience of actually having tumors, and I know what it's like. So yeah, it's very common. The other thing is that less than 1/8 of physical visits include nutrition counseling. So many people go and see a physician, but they don't actually get the holistic treatment they need in order to heal. And so there's only so much that medication and all that sort of stuff can do. It's great if you absolutely need it, but often you need to end up doing more of the work. Now, in terms of this, if you actually have your own health issues, I do actually have a separate video that I created a couple days ago on how to heal your body naturally through health coaching and what you learn from doing a health coaching program such as IAN. I share my story. If you want to watch that, just click here. And 2 other interesting facts: 70% of deaths are caused by chronic conditions each year. 70% of deaths are caused by chronic conditions. Now, a lot of chronic conditions can be prevented if you have a really great diet and a really great way of life. But the challenge is that a lot of people don't. I was someone, particularly when I was working in the corporate world, I was always too busy to take care of myself. I thought I was taking care of myself by exercising regularly and having the odd salad here and there, but I didn't really understand what health looked like. I didn't understand how healthy I could be. My imagination of what good health was here. Once I started health coaching, I realized that actually when you are really healthy, you feel amazing. You don't have symptoms. You wake up, you have energy, you're inspired, you're strong, you can exercise to your fullest capability. I had no idea that that kind of life was possible because I was so busy, stressed and working and just, that I had no idea that I could actually feel better on a consistent basis every single day. And last but not least, only 3% of healthcare dollars are spent on preventing diseases. So even though I've talked about this, only 3% of healthcare dollars are actually spent on preventing diseases, which is hardly anything. And so health coaches are needed not only by people, but also doctors and medical practices are actually realizing that in order to help the increasing number of the population that's growing, they need to have preventative measures because the system just it's just not sustainable. And so they actually want to have health coaches working in their practices to better help and service their clients. Now that's just in terms of the market, but in terms of you, how can it be beneficial for you? So one of the things that I'll say is that given the work that I do, my baby, I've got a little toddler, my toddler and my husband, they light me up. But the thing is that as I love them dearly, but one of the reasons why I still work, actually the only reason why I still work, is because even though I could be a stay-at-home mother and I could really just focus on being a really the top-notch wife and mother, even though that could be my focus, One thing I can't let go of is when people get results from my work. It's hard to describe in words how it feels when you get an email from someone who says, what you taught me, whatever, changed my life. Like, I've had people email me saying, what you taught me, you know, helped me get a new job. What you taught me helped me increase my salary by 40%. What you taught me helped me in this situation. And I've received so many emails like that. And whenever you get feedback from people who say thank you for what you do, it's like, okay, this is why I do it. You know, sure, there's, you might want to get paid, whatever, but this is why I do it. This is the reason why I do what I do. And so when I really, really realized that, yeah, I didn't want to drop it. And so if you want that kind of meaning where you get feedback, where someone isn't saying, oh, thanks for your presentation, but someone's saying, thank you, you've changed my life in a meaningful way. I'm not sick anymore, or I'm happier, or I'm healthier, or because of you, fill in the blank, then this is really, really a great career option for you. Now, if you're considering becoming a health coach and you want to figure out where to study, a great program to look at is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, like I mentioned. Now, I studied there. If you want my review on what it's like to study there, click on the link there. But if you've kind of decided that you actually do want to study there, then make sure that you sign up to get a discount, kind of like a scholarship, which is huge, because when you get that, it makes it so much easier for you to start. And they're also currently right now, they're doing a special offer. And so if you sign up over the next couple of days, this can really, really make a difference and make it more affordable for you. So if you want these discounts, simply click on the link in the description box below. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave a comment in the box below. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how much do health coaches earn. So we've talked a bit about what a health coach does, but is it feasible? Can you actually get paid doing it? So in the next video, which is coming tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing how much health coaches earn. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And to stay tuned for that, don't forget to click on the bell button. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It was so good to create this video for you. I am high on energy and smiles. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall see you again soon. All right, bye.